What is up, my good people? It is November 18th, 2025. It is Tuesday. And here is a trade recap here for you guys. The market is actually still going. It's only 225, but I am officially going to go ahead and call it here for the day. First thing I want to go ahead and do, as always, is let's unlink this. Let's go straight into the SPY. And let's see what we are talking about here today. So let me pull up a 2-minute. Oh my god, not the 1 minute, the 2 minute. And let me go ahead and inform you guys on the trade that I got into here today. So the trade that I actually took here today was Amazon long. Now, as you're looking at this chart, you're wondering, hey man, why would you go long? Well, it's going to be kind of simple, and I hope that I end up breaking this down pretty good for you guys here today. So, straight out the gate, what I noticed is we were rejecting previous day lows while SPY was kind of trying to hold, but needless to say, it did end up failing to follow through under. So what I was doing was I was sitting on hands waiting. Now, what was I waiting for? Well, I was waiting for a possible capitulatory move. And the reason why I was waiting for a possible capitulatory move on Amazon is look how many consecutive red days we have on Amazon currently. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 consecutive extremely big, decent red days here. Today we are actually gapping down. We went sub daily 100 and sub 50 daily moving average. So because we were witnessing that, by the way, they're right here, right? This is the 50, this is the 100. Because we were seeing that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for a capitulatory move, and which is essentially when, you know, a strong bid comes in. If you want calls or if you want a long, you want to see price action start to speed up. So I'm gonna go ahead and explain exactly that to you right now, guys. So we get this pop and we get a strong failure under previous day lows, which is this yellow dotted line. Now we're starting to fail. Now look at the size of these candles, right? Look how they're kind of small. We kind of break, still small, still small. Now we start to speed up here. We end up rejecting previous pre-market lows. And then look how big this candle got. And then look how big this candle got. And then this candle right here just screams capitulation on a 5-minute. Like, look at this, how this looked on the 5-minute. Look at this huge bottoming wick. When I trade, I want to let you guys know, when I trade, I'm going to go ahead and link this back to red. This is how I trade. I usually have this side on a daily. And then when I want to see a little bit more macro on the intraday, like if I want to see like a bigger time frame intraday, I'll switch this really quick and I'll click to a 5-minute just so I can see how it's building. And what I seen was it just felt like Stuart Little. You know, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. At least I think that's Stuart Little, if I'm not mistaken. It felt like that when this move started coming in. It was like, oh my god, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. I mean, keep in mind, I think this was down like 5 or 6%. So, sky is falling, sky is falling. We get this beautiful wick. And I'm just taking a shit ton of calls down here, guys. Like, I think, like, I scooped some up probably here. I scooped some, like, around here. And I scooped the 230s. Unfortunately, I should have chose probably a more in the money one, because I probably would have made more out of it. But I just scooped a shit ton based off of this. Look at this 5-minute wick. So I just started scooping. And we get an immediate surge. And I'm holding through it. We get another surge. I'm holding through it. And I relinquish all my contracts right up here. As soon as we get above the 20 EMA cloud, this is the 9 EMA and this is a 21 EMA. As soon as we got over this cloud, my assumption is what I usually see happen for whatever reason. I don't know why this happens, but on a 2-minute chart, if we really get to trending, what I usually notice is the ticker will surge above the 21 EMA and then immediately flatline right back under, which is exactly what we did if we start to trend. So once we got this rocketed move, I took my whole position off. I was like, yeah, dude, I immediately was green. Like, I don't even think I seen red on this trade. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I waited for this thing just to capitulate. Strong bids came in, and I got out right at the pre-market lows. I might have got a little bit under, but it was definitely like somewhere within this range, like somewhere between 226.60s to 70s, 80s. So I really honestly did take out like near the highs on the calls, and those were 230 strikes that I ended up scooping up, and I went a shit ton here, guys. Like I was pretty, you know, it was a pretty baller trade. I'm not gonna say here lie to you. Now, I did go ahead and take another trade, and this trade, I actually took it. If you guys don't know, I'll state it again for people who do not know. I am part of the IU community. Now, I'm not someone who is well known in that community. I do talk in the lounge about my positions and things like that. My username is Dark, so if anyone is in IU and you see me yapping in the trader lounge, I'm never really in the momentum because they take their job really, really serious. Momentum is where like Nate is doing all his call outs, and all of these really probably SMB guys and things like that, right, are doing all of their call outs. And I like to really just kind of talk about my trade and stuff like that. And a lot of them, they don't fuck around when the market's open. There's no fucking around in that kind of in the momentum chat room. So I usually am in the lounge and I'm just chilling and yapping it up. But I never look at SOXL, right? And I had a guy, and his name is Chris Ells. He's actually the guy who does the Sunday scans in IU, Investors Underground. He does the Sunday scans ever since, my boy Nate dropped it, which, I want him back. But, it is what it is, man. He got kids and all that stuff. So I don't know if we'll ever get him back. We'll probably get him back on the big days for him to come back on Sundays. But, I really like Chris Ells. And he had a spectacular idea. He pulled up SOXL and he was like, I'm looking to go ahead and take some 35 strikes. So he said it, and I'm sitting back waiting, right? Because I've never traded SOXL before. So I want to make sure if I'm going to end up trading SOXL, I'm going to get on the right side of the trade. So we end up getting this flush out. I'm sure he got in somewhere around here. But I'm sitting here waiting because we're still rejecting VWAP. We get this flush out, reclaim, flush out again. I end up scooping the same strikes. I had a 171 average. And then we get this nice pop, and then we fail again, and I scooped up actually some more, playing a double bottom, as well as, look at this, guys. We are right here at the daily 100 SMA on SOXL. So for me, I'm like, oh man, this is a no-brainer, good long opportunity. And boom, we immediately shoot up right off of this double bottom. And I'm like, yes, bro. This is like the first time I'm trading SOXL. I'm on the right side of this trade. Everything's looking beautiful. And it was beautiful. I ended up getting actually out right here. Somewhere between this candle and this candle right here. I did the same thing as my Amazon. As you can see, if I click this, it's pre-market low, right? And then if we look at my Amazon trade, think about where I got out on Amazon. Pre-market lows. Look at that. So when I notice that things are relatively weak, I like to take off at areas that I know are going to be kind of a struggle. I knew pre-market low was going to be a struggle. I know previous day lows is going to be a struggle. If I know these areas are going to be a struggle to break through, that is where I want to be a profit taker. So I took like 75% of my position off there. And then I think we dipped here and I just took the rest off. But it was still a very, very solid trade. We obviously went back and above previous day lows, but this was an absolute banger of an idea that Chris L actually had in the Investors Underground community. The thing is guys, just because someone says, hey, I'm taking a 35, strike call or whatever it may be, and these are established traders, who are saying it, that does not mean you just blindly join them. I want to make sure, just in case somebody ends up coming in here and they're like, oh, well, this guy's in the IU community. He's doing really well. Let me join it. Let me see if I can copy trades. It's never going to work like that, guys. You have to, if you're going to take somebody else's idea, you also have to merge it with your own. I don't know where Chris L exactly got in. All I know is that he announced that he was scooping up some 35 call strikes, to the long side. And I was like, okay, well, let me wait for my setup. And, it came into my wheelhouse, and I absolutely nailed it. Now, I never have SOXL on my watch. I never do. But he gave me a great idea, and it matched the chart pattern I know, and it matched my overall thesis of a market capitulatory day where, dude, when we bring up the SPY, look at the SPY. Oh, my God. There we go. When we look at the SPY, it almost like, when you're looking at this type of price action, it almost, especially when you're looking at like how bad these days have kind of been, right? It's almost like it feels like the sky is falling, right? We're losing the 50 daily moving average. We lost to 20, we lost to 10. We're getting close to 100 daily. People retail traders and whoever, right, like short time frame traders, they're looking at this like, oh my god, this guy is falling, and it does look bad, guys. It really does. But at the end of the day, when you just zoom out, does it really look that bad? Like, does it really look that bad? Just a simple question, you know? And, you know, I didn't think the SPY was just going to sit here and just give up the whole ghost here, you know, in a singular day with NVIDIA's earnings tomorrow. So to me, you know, it was a no-brainer to take these long opportunities when everyone is shitting bricks, scared, you know, and maybe selling their shares, right? Because let's be realistic here. Guys, there's not a lot of people shorting the market, right? A lot of it is people just selling their shares. And a lot of short, maybe swing traders, so on and so forth, right? They're probably just selling their shares, making this weak, and then as soon as you get that real capitulatory move, you get that nice surge. And that's basically, that was the game plan, you know, across the board. I mean, and the thing is Amazon, honestly, is not even the best look for like a capitulatory move. It might have actually really been like Google a little bit looks better, in my opinion, right? It's at least holding above previous day lows. Like, this is a much better move. So, like, if I was a betting man and I could go back in time, Google should have probably been the one that I actually attacked here today, just because it's showing relative strength. What else is there that's actually relative? Oh, Netflix. Netflix was also a spectacular opportunity. I didn't take it, but I mean, look at how good this looks. You know what I'm saying? It's clearly showing relative strength. It's holding above green on the day, got above previous day highs. You know, never let go of VWAP. It dipped under, soaked right back up, and is just continuing to roll. Now, I do have Netflix as a long-term, in my long-term portfolio. So, you know, I'm not complaining about the fact that I didn't trade Netflix, but this was definitely a very good name to target here today, just due to the fact that, you know, it was really showing relative strength versus the SPY. Let me unlink this just so you guys can see the difference between, you know, relative weakness and relative strength. You know, look at how the SPY's rolling and failing while this is just holding up. You know, catching a solid bid over the day. What is it? The daily 20, right? Daily 20 SMA holding it, soaking it, right? Dipped under, ripped over, dipped to it, tapped it, ripped, dipped to it, tapped it with VWAP, ripped. Like, and then we have the 200 daily moving average right here, which is now above. So, you know, if you guys wanted to play the relative strength towards weakness game, you know, Netflix was just a no-brainer long here today. And honestly, that's probably where my focus should have actually been today, was really Netflix calls. But, you know, it is what it is. I chose Amazon. Amazon ended up being an absolute banger for me. SOXL was an absolute banger as well. And that was basically it for my training day. I'm now done for the day. I'm probably going to end up just gaming and playing some more of Arrivals. And, you know, I'll probably be prepping as soon as market close, maybe around 7, 8 o'clock. You know, I'll come back to the charts and kind of see what I game plan for tomorrow. You know, tomorrow's going to be a very big day, so I don't assume that the market's going to want to go too crazy. We're definitely going to be somewhere between this range, guys. I think we'll be between this candle and this candle. So, this is a very big range, right? This is a very big range on the SPY. But, you know, I don't think we're going to move any further than maybe this day and this day. You know, I'd be very surprised if, you know, all hell breaks loose and we start ripping up to fill this gap somehow, or if we fail to follow through and lose the 100 daily moving average. I think that tomorrow, if I was a betting man, they're probably going to want to keep the market in a range. Now, the range could be steep, guys. I mean, we know look how the SPY is moving. You know, it has some legitimate movement, right? The daily trading range is about 9 points versus its ATR, which is about 7.81. So there's a lot of movement here going on in the SPY. You know, it's moving percents every single day, several percents in a day. So make sure you prep. You know, make sure you have your basket on whether, you know, there's volatility, whether, you know, whatever the case may be for longs and shorts. Just make sure you have a basket of names that you like if the market's weak, and a basket if you like when the market's strong. And that is essentially all I have for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the recap. I hope you guys learned a little bit. And I will be back tomorrow with another recap. Hopefully, if I do place a trade. If not, I'll still do a recap and let you guys know why I didn't place a trade or whatever. Because NVIDIA earnings is tomorrow, so I just want to make sure I'm very safe. But yeah, that's it, guys. Take it easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I want to state this before I let you guys actually go. If you are having a tough time in this market, please, just give yourself a little bit of time. Downsize your positions. If you're getting caught in these volatile, down moves on names and things like that, hands off the first 15 minutes. I promise you it will probably save your life. I'm not joking. It will probably save your life for you just to settle the first 15, maybe 30 minutes, guys. If you're a new trader and you don't understand volatility, there is no rush. You guys do not have to rush into these positions at any time. So please, just be cautious, be careful, trade well, and that's all I have to say. Later.